My name is Zach Arnold. I'm a Hollywood film and television editor, a documentary director, father of two, an American Ninja Warrior in training, and the creator of Optimize Yourself. For over 10 years now, I have obsessively searched for every possible way to optimize my own creative and athletic performance, and now I'm here to shorten your learning curve. Whether you're a creative professional who edits, writes, or directs, you're an entrepreneur, or even if you're a weekend warrior, I strongly believe that you can be successful without sacrificing your health or your sanity in the process. You ready? Let's design the optimized version of you. Hello and welcome to the Optimize Yourself podcast. If you're a brand new optimizer, I welcome you and I sincerely hope that you enjoy today's conversation. If you are inspired to take action after listening today, why not tell a friend about this show and help spread the love? And if you're a longtime listener and Optimizer OG, welcome back. Whether you're brand new or you're a seasoned vet, if you have just 10 seconds today, it would mean the world to me if you clicked the subscribe button in your podcast app of choice. Because the more people that subscribe, the more that iTunes and the other platforms can recognize this show, and thus the more people that you and I can inspire to step outside their comfort zones to reach their greatest potential. And now on to today's show, which, to be honest, is going to be a bit of an experiment. As a longtime listener, you already know how much I love to do in-depth interviews on a variety of topics, whether that's allowing everyday people to share their personal and their inspirational journeys, or industry experts and world-renowned authors who share their expertise to help you optimize a specific area of your life. But today, what I want to do instead is give you an insider's glimpse into the world of my Optimizer coaching and mentorship program and what we call the hot seat. What you're going to hear today is a recording of an actual live session with an Optimizer student where on the hot seat, we tackle various questions, whether that's about career transitions, productivity, workflows, networking, burnout, habit formation, resumes and websites, and any other number of work-life challenges that students bring to the table as they navigate their own paths toward success. In the following hot seat session, community member Monica Leone wants to discuss whether she should keep a job that she believes is undervaluing her. Before we decide the best strategy, we have to determine what her long-term goals are and what benefits the job is offering towards these goals as opposed to the costs of staying. Then we have to determine what leverage she can use to make the job worthwhile if she does choose to stay. If you ever find yourself struggling to decide if a job is worth taking or leaving, or frankly just sticking around, this episode will give you some insights into doing your own cost-benefit analysis for any specific job so you can ask yourself the right questions and determine whether or not it is an opportunity and if it is the right fit for you and your own needs. If you find these sessions valuable, we're going to be sharing Hot Seat Fridays with you every week that are going to be jam-packed with practical, real-world strategies that you can easily apply to your own lifestyle and career to send you off with an action plan for the next Monday ahead. And if after listening to this, you're wishing that you could schedule your own hot seat session, I invite you to join our community of optimizers, where you're going to find all the support and connections you need to optimize every aspect of your life. Just go to optimizeyourself.me/optimizer to learn more about the various coaching and mentorship options available so you and I can start working together today. And now, without further ado, here is today's Hot Seat Friday session with Monica Leone, made possible today by our amazing sponsors Evercast and ErgoDriven, who are going to be featured just a bit later in today's episode. And as a quick reminder, to subscribe so you don't miss future interviews just like this one, please visit optimizeyourself.me/podcast. So what is your hot seat topic, Monica?
Well, I have a project and I'm not happy with that project because it's taking a lot of my time. And now that I'm playing calendar Tetris, I am very aware of all the amount of time it takes in my calendar, and they are not paying me what it's worth. So last Wednesday, you were talking to Sean and it was as if you were talking to me. But even though I know it's the right decision to leave this project, I can't. I keep gaslighting myself. Maybe because of the circumstances, I would have to explain to you who I'm working for and blah, blah, blah. So then you could understand why I keep gaslighting myself.
Well, and I also know that, like me, you're very, very much a questioner. So I'm sure that there are a lot of questions in your mind. And I love how you've just thrown gasoline on the time blocking and calendar Tetris fire. Because I remember one of our first conversations, you couldn't get focused. You were super, super distracted. And now you basically own the focus gym. Like you're a squatter. You've just decided this is my home. I don't want to go too deep into the details, but is the question as simple as, do I stay at this job or leave it, or is it more complex?
I think it's more complex. The thing is, I'm working for somebody who is a somebody in the niche of the voiceover acting. Like, this guy did the voice for Shrek and Bugs Bunny. He comes from a family of actors. And when I took this job, knowing that it was like terribly paid, of course, I saw that this was a nice way to get to know him and blah, blah, blah. But then COVID happened, and I've been doing like more work, because not only am I being the talent, but I'm also being the director and the sound engineer slash like the assistant of the sound engineer, which is great. I've developed a lot of skills. I'm a different person now, but now it's too heavy. It's too heavy. Like what you said, the vest is too heavy. Now it's time for me to leave the nest. And I feel, I don't know why. And I know I'm making a terrible mess in a small glass of water. I don't know if that's a saying in English, but in Spanish, it's like, dude, you're drowning in a glass of water. That's basically what I'm doing. And I know, and I need you. That's why I scheduled a session today. I need help.
Okay. So it sounds like it's very similar to my conversation with Sean, that you're doing a job that you're realizing is just, it's not getting you where you want to be anymore. And it's taking way too much effort, and it's weighing you down from moving you forwards. Yes?
Yeah.
So very, 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 very briefly, in like one sentence, describe to me what your goal is that you want to achieve next. What's your macro goal right now? What are you working towards the next 3 to 6 months?
I will have the skills necessary to be able to send out 3 to 4 castings a day.
For you because big picture, you want to become a voiceover artist, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So are the things that you're doing currently in this job precluding you from being able to do your own work? Right
now, yes. Like a month ago, no. Actually, it was helping me improve my listening skills, my performance, and the whole showing up thing. But now I need to start researching agencies and improve my email and all the cold calling, the selling part. And I need that time to research. And now that ever since I started the program, I've been stacking mini goals, the micro goals, of course.
Micro goals, yes.
Yeah, oh yes, of course, micro goals. And it's wonderful. I want to keep that momentum. And the next step is of the GTD system is, all the part of research and sales and getting to know people and blah, blah, blah website. And this has to go.
All right. So let's assume for a second that you had all these things that you wanted to do to move you forwards, either towards your macro goal over the next 3 to 6 months, that I want to have these following casting submissions that I'm sending out on a regular basis, to big picture become a voiceover artist yourself. Yep. Let's say that you were not able to do any of those projects or actions or complete anything because you were a barista at Starbucks, and now they decided they're going to give you a pay cut and you're underpaid, but you're still working 40 hours a week. Duh. No brainer. You leave the job because it's getting you nowhere and they're not even compensating you for your time, right? That's brain dead obvious. This situation is a little bit of a grayer area, because you are in the industry that you want to be working in with what sounds like somebody that could be well connected and could potentially open doors for you. So the question is, let's not look at just the amount of money or the amount of time right now. If you were to focus on also continuing to do this job, do you see benefits down the road? Or despite the fact that it's in the right general area of the industry, does it just feel like you're doing busy work and it's a dead end job and they're not going to give you more opportunities?
Oh, God, that's very, 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 that's the question that yeah, you nailed it, because I don't know. And this guy, he doesn't even care for the project that much. He's a rebel and he is mad at the client. So he sometimes answers. I'm like, hey, here's a new episode, blah, blah, blah. And then like 2 days later, he's like, oh, cool. And I'm like, well, did you hate it? Did you? And then he last told me like 3 weeks ago that he was not even listening to the audios. Like his assistant is doing everything. So I'm like, dude, every time I work, I have it's not silly, but maybe like the hope that you are seeing my potential and you're not like your assistant is doing everything. You're not even listening to it. So it's like, oh God, this is really dead end job.
My sincerest apologies for the interruption in the middle of this interview, but if you are a content creator or you work in the entertainment industry, not only is the following promo not an interruption, but listening has the potential to change your life, because collaborating with Evercast is that powerful. Here's a brief excerpt from a recent interview that I did with Evercast co-founders Brad Thomas and award-winning editor Roger Barton.
Living this lifestyle of a feature film editor has really had an impact on me. So I was really looking for something to push back against all of these lifestyle infringements that are imposed on us, both by schedules and expectations. When you guys demoed Evercast for me that first time, my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for a decade.
I also had the same reaction when I first saw Evercast. 2 words came to mind: game changer.
Our goal, honestly, is to become the Zoom for creatives, whatever it is you're streaming, whether it's editorial, visual effects, Pro Tools for music composition, live shot cameras. It's consistent audio and video, lip sync, always stays in sync. Whether you're in a live session where you're getting that feedback immediately, or you can't get it immediately, so you record the session and you can share those clips with people on the production team where there's no room for any confusion. It's like, this is exactly what the director wants. This is exactly what the producer wants.
What matters most to me is it makes the entire process more efficient, which then translates to us as creatives who spend way too much time in front of computers. We get to shut it down and we get to go spend time with our friends and family.
The biggest complaint, and I'm sure you guys have heard this many, many times, this looks amazing, I just can't afford it.
Tesla had to release the Model S before they released the Model 3. So by the end of the year, we are going to be releasing a sub $200 version a month of Evercast for the freelancer and indie creatives. Anyone who is a professional video creator outside of Hollywood.
I think what we've learned over the last few months is that this technology can translate to better lives for all of us that give us more flexibility and control while still maintaining the creativity, the creative momentum, and the quality of work.
I cannot stress this enough. Evercast is changing the way that we collaborate. If you value your craft, your well-being, and spending quality time with the ones you love, Evercast now makes that possible for you and me. To listen to the full interview and learn about the amazing potential that Evercast has to change the way that you work and live, visit optimizeyourself.me/Evercast. Now back to today's interview. All right, so I think you know the answer to the question, but we're going to dive into it even a layer deeper.
Yes.
So far, you've told me that the cost of having this job is it takes up a tremendous amount of your time. That seems to be the biggest cost. Mm-hmm. It also sounds like you're not getting helpful feedback and you're just kind of doing dead-end menial work that really isn't providing growth. Mm-hmm. So are there any benefits that you're getting? And one of the benefits is it sounds like it's at least paid. I'm not saying you're getting paid what you should be, but you're not doing it for free, correct?
Exactly. Like at least they pay. So
it pays. So that's one benefit. What are other benefits that you are getting from this job?
The amount of practice, I'm amazed. And every time because I record like exactly what I do in each time log, and it's amazing. Every time it's like the gym. Like every time you do better stuff in less time, and I'm sure I'm going to do like good job thanks to this project. But it's time. No, and now it's annoying me. Like it stresses me. Look at me today. It's like, no, I really don't want to do it. Now it's affecting me emotionally and mentally.
So it sounds to me like the benefits that you're getting are essentially, I get a paycheck that frankly probably isn't even what you're worth, but you are getting a paycheck, and it's giving you an opportunity to practice the skills that you need to get better at in a real world setting.
Yep.
How about as far as building your network and building connections? Is it helping you meet new people that are the right people to move you forwards?
I think this guy could in the future, because I want to record a singing demo because I also sing, and I wanted to shoot, I wanted him to know that I sing. And if he works with projects in English, we could work together again. So I just want to find a way where I can just tell him how I feel, like my current situation, and not damage the relationship.
So it sounds to me like he could open doors. He could recognize your talent, but it doesn't sound like he is, because you're not getting any feedback. You don't hear from him for days. And when you do something that you feel proud of, there's no acknowledgement of that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So here's potentially how I would approach this. You just have a conversation and you be honest. Here are really the things that I was hoping to get out of this opportunity. Are these things that interest you? I would love for you to potentially give me some feedback on my singing, or I did some research and I see that you know this person or that person. My goal is that I really want to move up in the voiceover industry, and I would love some stewardship and mentorship and support from you because I really admire the work that you do. Let's assume that he said yes to all of those things. Are all of the costs worth it? So the cost of your time, the cost of being underpaid, the busy work. If he said, listen, I see potential in you. I'm going to listen to your stuff. I want to teach you and I want to mentor you and I want to introduce you to people and open doors. Let's assume he offered to do all of that. Are the costs of your job now worth it if that's the benefit?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. If I do that, it would totally change the situation.
And if he's not willing to do it, and he's like, no, just do your job. I don't need to be bothered by you. Then you know that's not even a potential thing that might happen. If you know for a fact he has no interest in moving you forwards, and you're just a set of hands that's doing busy work, are the costs of your job worth it?
Mm-mm.
Nope. You already know. You knew the answer to that before I started even talking about this. So I think the wild card is whether or not there's opportunity for growth, and we don't know for a fact if there is or not because you haven't had that conversation. So what if you just blatantly have that conversation? In order for me to really commit to this job at this point, here's what I need. And either he's going to realize you're an asset, and this is what it's going to cost him to keep you on the team, or, I don't want to deal with this. I can replace you tomorrow. There are so many other people that can do your job. Well, then you at least know, when you have the confidence, this is no longer a good fit, and you need to run for the hills as fast as possible.
Okay.
But you don't know that yet. So at least have the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So either you have somebody that's going to lift you up and make you lighter, or you have somebody that's a 50-pound weight vest on your career.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you're going to know which is which.
And if he says no, then I'm like, okay, bye-bye.
Then just say, you know what, unfortunately, I don't think this is a good fit anymore. You don't need to burn any bridges. You can give him time and say, listen, I'm going to give you 2 weeks notice. I'm happy to finish up whatever projects I need to, but I don't think this is a good fit and it's time for me to move on.
Okay, yeah.
Because you don't need to be carrying that weight around all day, every day.
No. Something that bugs me is that since it's voice over, like replacing me wouldn't be that easy because you need someone with my timbre and timbre. Is that
yeah?
Well, with my voice and like someone who like in here, like in Mexico, that speaks English and with this voice. So it's not like replacing a photographer or
And do you know what all of those things are called in this circumstance? Those things are called leverage. If it's not going to be easy to replace you, you have leverage to get more out of this opportunity than you're getting. And in this case, maybe it's I want to raise, or in this case, you know that money isn't really the problem. It's that you're not learning from this opportunity. So all of a sudden, he realizes, oh man, she's not going to be easy to replace. She's got a whole wide varied skill set and the sound of her voice is unique. And to find somebody, the quality of her voice that speaks both English and Spanish, not easy. If that means that I'm going to need to spend a little bit more time mentoring her and maybe doing some mutual introductions, that's worth it to me because she's bringing value that I didn't see before. Or again, the flip side is I can replace you by this afternoon.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
So replace me. That works out for both of us.
Oh, yeah.
You've got some leverage to feel confident to go in and ask for the things that you want. And if it's not real leverage and he's not interested, then you know for a fact this is not the right opportunity and you can move on.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you.
Does that give you a little bit more clarity on your next steps to manage the situation?
A lot. It's very, very nice. Thank you. And I was shy to book a session about this, but I was just going around in circles and I was like, no, I need help.
Well, now we have a path. Now we don't have to walk in circles anymore.
Thank you.
Before closing up today's show, I would love to ask for just a couple additional minutes of your time and attention to introduce you to one of my new favorite products created by my good friend Kit Perkins, who you may recognize as creator of the Topomat. Here is a brief excerpt from a recent interview that I did with Ergo-Driven co-founder and CEO Kit Perkins, talking about his latest product, New Standard Whole Protein.
I'm into health and fitness generally, but I want it to be simple and straightforward. About a year and a half ago, I started adding collagen into my protein shakes. And man, the benefits were like more dramatic than any supplement I've ever seen. So I thought, if I could just get this down to coming out of one jar, and it's ingredients that I know I can trust, and you just put it in water and you don't have to think about it.
When people think of protein powders, they think, well, I don't want to get big and bulky, and that's not what this is about. To me, this is about repair.
So a big part of what we're talking about here is you are what you eat. Your body's constantly repairing and rebuilding, and the only stuff it can use to repair and rebuild is what you've been eating. Unfortunately, as the years have gone by, every day getting out of bed, it's like, 2 or 3 creaks and pops in the first couple steps, and that I thought you just sort of live with now. But yeah, once starting the collagen daily or near daily, it's just gone. So for us, job 1A here was make sure it's high quality, and that's grass-fed, 100% pasture-raised cows. And then the second thing, if you're actually going to do it every day, it needs to be simple, it needs to taste good.
Well, my goal is that for anybody that is a creative professional like myself that's stuck in front of a computer, number one, they're doing it standing on a Topomat. Number two, they've got a glass of New Standard Protein next to them so they can just fuel their body, fuel their brain. So you and I, my friend, one edit station at a time are going to change the world.
And even better for your listeners, with code OPTIMIZE, on either a one-time purchase or that first subscribe and save order, 50% off. So if you do that subscribe and save, that's 20% off and 50% off with code OPTIMIZE. That's a fantastic deal.
If you're looking for a simple and affordable way to stay energetic, focused, and alleviate the chronic aches and pains that come from living at your computer, I recommend New Standard Whole Protein because it's sourced from high-quality ingredients that I trust and it tastes great. To place your first order, visit optimizeyourself.me/newstandard and use the code OPTIMIZE for 50% off your first order. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Hot Seat Fridays. If you find this new format valuable, please reach out and let us know. Just go to optimizeyourself.me/contact to leave your honest feedback. And if after listening, you are wishing that you could schedule your own hot seat session, I invite you to join our community of optimizers, where you are going to find all of the support and connections you need to optimize every aspect of your life. Just go to optimizeyourself.me/optimizer to learn more about the various coaching and mentorship options available so you and I can start working together. And as a quick reminder to subscribe so you don't miss future interviews just like this one, please visit optimizeyourself.me/podcast. And a special thanks to our sponsors Evercast and Ergo-Driven for making today's interview possible. To learn more about how to collaborate remotely without missing a frame and to get your real-time demo of Evercast in action, visit optimizeyourself.me/Evercast. And to learn more about Ergo-Driven and their brand new product that I am super excited about, New Standard Whole Protein, visit optimizeyourself.me/newstandard. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, healthy, and sane, and be well.